your wife gives you in the form of a woman, when a care comes from your wife, it is not service. Reject it. Open up for service. I didn't sign like a nyamiano service. Na nyamiano service is a topic. Abna troto. So that is a husband. Now, a man becomes a husband because he has married to a wife. Let me do this. If you are a husband, you are a husband only to your wife. So these services your wife renders to you, thank you, Terry. These particular services that must be rendered to you cannot be given to any other who as a husband. One tells you, until we are 157 years go ahead. Want me go 200? Keep tapping. Until I mean pick you piano. Because see you move go up here. Tell me, the services that you render to a husband cannot be rendered to any other person. So hear me. If you are living with him and you are doing all the things I am and you are doing all the things I am with exploration and practical work in your capacity, that what you are doing will change your status from being an ordinary sex mate to a wife. There's a process to becoming a wife, and the process is through marriage. So if you are living with a man who has not paid your bride price and you are producing children for him, you are a baby mama, but you are disgracefully occupying the space of a wife, hoping that one day you become a wife. There's nothing called potential wife. There's nothing called a shadow wife. There's nothing called a be. Stop fooling yourself and wait to become a wife and render service. So until you are married, you can't render service, but take care. So hear me. If you are living with a man who has not paid your bride price, you are not on rendering service. You are only giving care. A husband must be in charge of a marriage. The 6th point. Marriage is not democracy. Marriage is not democracy. It's autocracy. Order and follow. So to be a husband is to lead. And in your leadership, you don't take advice from the followers. If you have anything you are confused about as a leader and you want to find ways and means of correcting it, give it out as a project work. And the results out of the project work will answer definite answers to the implementation you want to bring up there. So I don't know where we started. Where we have to form a consensus to paint my house. I don't know where we started, where we need to discuss the color of paint we need to paint in our home. I don't know where it came to a consensus that I have built my house and I need an input from a wife to tell me what to put. Hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me. Hear me. A house is built by a man. A home is run by a wife. So a husband builds a house. A home is run by a wife. And for that matter, to be a husband is to have an autocratic power to determine when, how, and where things are landed. Do you understand me? Do you get it? So if you are watching me today and you are getting confused, whether you are a husband or you are not sure the man you are living with is a husband, and you want to know why we are celebrating Father's Day, you are fighting over husband's day. Hear me, it is not husband's day, it is Father's Day. And stop worrying somebody's son who is not treating you well as a wife and he's taking care of his children. Stop telling the children not to celebrate their father. It is Father's Day. Your husband is not your father. Your husband, he does that, doesn't make him a father over you. He remains as a husband forever. You see your problem? You are treating me like a child. Stop fooling. You are not a child. The fact that your husband is making the decisions alone. Mind you, a woman has a point of view and a wife has a contribution. So in my deliberation and conversation, a wife can contribute, but where you contribute, if it's taken, implemented or not, it's not in your purview. It's not in your power. It's not in your strength as a wife to insist that what you said, your contribution is added to my decision. No. It is only the point of view of a woman that is insisted to be added, or they go out. So anytime your wife takes a stand and gives warning, gives signals, like the woman who told the husband, if you bring a child out of wedlock, I will leave this marriage. That is not a contribution. That is a point of view. And she has left being a wife to a woman. It's only women that insist that what they say is added, or I'll leave the marriage. Is somebody there? The next 10 minutes, your opinions and views will be taken. So start doing your request. I'll pick you because I'm closing. So a husband must be in charge, lead, make leadership decisions. Leaders don't consult subordinates to make decisions. Leaders don't consult. Bema e fa dwin on fa ne yire fa dwin. Bema ndi obesika. Obesika ye ne dia. Bema sika ne di hwefie. E yo ba kuma so ade se opea. E no boa ene ni sika. But emwe bi a efi oba ho no. E ye nhye eda no so se oyire. Wo be sum wukum eno ye nhye. But say obanya dwete kakra bi. Why nensem dwumanya ni 100 Ghana bi no. Se ode ba bekma bema enya bosia. Ode ba bema bema eye hwehwe animu na so opeso no ade ye ni bibi bo efie na enya bema no ode ye ama no. Efie ni no ode boa. But bema with definition of nyama oye. Bema man ne yira dia ese ye clear. One kase wo sika ho oba o yire nsem a o yire enhu sika ho faso da kosi do be wo awade. Anytime you provide for your wife, let there be a discussion follow the money. Don't give money with no instructions. Don't give money with no instructions. Don't give money with no instructions.
Awusiafo me mo bibia good morning. Mesre mo obaso a na wa share na wa invite ama me. O YouTube nso a mesre o like video no ema me. Facebook me chia obibia mesre mo like video no ema me. Happy Father's Day to you all. Happy Father's Day.
Husband should oversee from far and near waste in the marriage. Waste by your wife. Waste by your wife. Because your wife is the manager of the home. You cannot cross her to go and correct house help. Cross her to go and correct gardeners. Cross her to go. There are people that are not under you direct, under the organogram. The only person under you direct is your wife. All other people are under your wife. So immediately you leave the organogram and come and deal with the people under your wife. You have undermined her authority as a wife. So a husband, the next point, stays in position as the leader and makes decision as the leader. Doesn't mingle with the people under him. This is who a husband is. And I can go on and on with the husband, but I will do part 2 of husbands for you. We are treating how to become a husband who is a husband. We are treating how to become a husband who is a husband. One is a husband. The next thing is a father. Sunday is Father's Day. Who is a father? A father is the male parent of a child. A man who has put a woman in the family way and has produced a child is called a father. Yeah, I know it's not palatable. I've not finished with the husbands, but if you ask questions, I'll answer. So what did I just say? It means that you can be a husband to a wife. Until you have a child, you are not a father. You can adopt 400 children, you are not a father. You can take care of other people's children, you are not a father. Or you are a pastor, so you are a spiritual father. That is accepted in the book of Ephesians chapter 6. Children, obey your parents in the Lord. So I am a spiritual father, so people call me father. And that's what the Bible says, that our Father who art in heaven, he is our father, not your father. And that is not a fatherhood by form of biological disposition. That terminology, father from the Lord, is coming as a result of spiritual covering. So no one comes to the Father except through me, the Son. So when Jesus Christ came, even going to the Father was through a medium. So now we have access to the Father through Jesus. So it is not the non-biological father that we are celebrating on Sunday. Sunday's celebration is specifically gearing towards fathers, and fatherhood is not responsibility of paying fees. Your position as a father is not taken away from you because you didn't pay the fees of your children. The position of a father is not taken away from you because you didn't pay for hospital bills when your wife was going to deliver. The position of a father is not taken away from you because you were not able to provide shelter for the baby and the mother. That doesn't make you a lesser father. So when people are asking questions, when he didn't take care of me, when he didn't pay fees, when my mother was the only one who did everything, how do I grow to have love for him as a father? Kalu. I don't have father love for him. I don't have anything called father love. You, can you have father love? You. Do you know what it's called father love? You. Do you know what is called father love? Can you define what is father love? I don't have any emotions towards my father. You should bow down your head in the sun. And your mother, who is ungrateful and wicked and a witch, who has destroyed your destiny for making you not to recognize the man she gave herself to be impregnated, is very wicked. If a child can grow and will not have any feeling, emotional connection, emotional disposition for a father, hates who the father is, make a lot of loose talk about the father, don't blame that child, blame the mother. If a child has no connection with the father, if a child is making noise, I want to see you, my father. I want my mother to show me who my father is, like Yvonne Nelson. When a demand is coming like this, don't blame the girl, blame the mother. Yes, there are some of our daughters that their behaviors will not give you the chance to show them who their father is. I agree. There are some of our daughters that because of the way they act, their actions, what they will do, and how they will end it. That is why till today, you have not shown them who their father is. I might be agreeing with you, but it's a big mistake. A very big mistake. That is not within your right. The child must know who the father is. How useless the man who slept with you is. Let the child know who the father is. So recently, there's a certain man in town who is not feeling well at all. His condition is getting terminal, and he has only one son with a certain girl in a certain African country. And the girl has been bluffing with the man's child for a longer time. The man has gone around, delivered a lot of children. This girl, when they send money for the child, will reject the money and add curses and insults. Every curse that the lady was speaking and was saying to the man, maybe is the reason why today the guy is sick. The boy has graduated. He was just posted to do medicine, but his medical practice is not, the medical practice is not found in the hospital environment, but rather is found far away on sea. You understand? Just recently. This is about 3 weeks ago. The child had a dream that they were overseas, and the whole ship sank. And he says in the dream, he saw a lot of the bosses he was working with floating on the water. Helplessly, nobody was able to help anybody. Saw their bags and saw the ship and saw that they are evacuating people. And everybody they carry is dead. Everybody they carry is dead. And then he saw a certain man who was short with a lot of bald hair and in spectacles and was wearing a white shirt with blue neck in a dress. And the man just walked to him, dipped his hand into his chest, lifted him, and he screamed out. The next thing he saw, he was at the shore, and the man put his mouth to his nose and was resuscitating him. Then he came back out of his sleep on the sea. But he heard somebody shouting, Mr. Quating, Mr. Quating, don't go, Mr. Quating. And he is not Mr. Quating. He's called Dr. Quating, but his father is called Felix Quating. So he brought the dream back and prayers were said. They said, you have disconnected yourself from your father and you are in serious disaster. But the only one that can save you is that man you saw. You need to look for him. Then they asked him, if you see a picture, can you see the man? He says, yes. Call your mother. Tell your mother that something is going wrong and all you are pleading with her. She has done the best in taking care of you, but you need to see the picture of your father. The mother say, what in the picture go ahead? Oh, papa picture, me nibi. Or to say, me nim. But this was a spiritual exercise. The guy's life was going down the drain. The guy was losing his life. And the father came in the dream, hit the chest, and saved him out of the disaster. Now he's demanded to go and look for the man that saved him. He was asked to go and look for the picture of the man that he saw. And the first place is to talk to the mother. Mommy, can you show me a picture of my father? The mother says, not in my lifetime, over my dead body. As long as I live, you will never set eyes on that man. He's an evil man. He's a wicked man. What he did to me, even as a wife, I am afraid what he will do to you as a son. Madam, hear my word. word. You are a wife and not a son. We are talking about father and son, not father and wife. This is our problem. That is where my discussion is ending today. Wives should know where they are standing. Don't act for your children. You are a wife and not a daughter. So don't pollute your daughter against the father. Allow father and daughter, father and son to operate within that time. You have the history of their father's behavior. You have the history of their mother's behavior. You have the history of what their father did to you and left you alone. You have the history why their father never wanted to see them. My sister, it is none of your business to tell the children the story of their father. When you destroy the soul of their father to them, you are destroying their original soul, because until they die, they will remain as Kwating, they will remain as Luton. Why have you destroyed their future? How much at all are you spending on them? If you spend millions of money on your children without their father and they don't end up well, what have you done? This woman says she will never show this boy, never show Dr. Kwate who his father is. Thanks to Ginger Macro Chips. And the warning is lying down there. If you look for your father, I have nothing to do with you again. If you look for your father, when I die, don't bury me. If you look for your father, remember that I am no more your mother. If you look for your father, remember that you have become ungrateful and God will punish you, and they will call allies, friends, loved ones, enemies in disguise, and they will tell you what you don't want to hear. And your mother says these days you have become bad. When he talks to you, you talk back to him. Young man, hear me. Whatever you are today, it is not your father, it is your mother. I was here in the market when your mother comes to sell his tunic, sell his cloth. Your mother was selling charcoal to make sure that you go to school. Your mother was selling palm oil to make sure that you go to school. So don't disgrace your mother. Stop talking about your father and focus on your education. Stop being stupid. The child will punish you very soon. Any woman that takes care of a child and neglects the position of the father in the life of the child will punish you in future. Take my word. There is no child that grows without the presence of the father and become okay without seeing the man. There is a blessing in the hand of the man. Hear me. You are the one that allows procreation. So how do we get pregnant? A man is a father because he has a child. So if you don't have a child, you are not a father. So we are celebrating men who are fathers. If you are married 48 years and you and your wife are happy and you don't have a child, this Father's Day, shut up, don't join us. Oh, one thing when I say, okay. Now, you have 20 children, but you are not married. This is the time that you also are qualified to be celebrated. It is Father's Day, it's not Husband's Day. So the fact that I am not practicing what you are expecting me to do as your husband, the fact that you don't feel me as a good husband, doesn't negate the fact that my production and the things I did for you to be called a mother is not relevant. A father is a sperm donor. What should a father do if your woman refuses to let the father say name on the children? Listen to me. When your wife takes the surname out of the life of your child, he has destroyed the future of your child forever. No, I'll explain. And this is the time I'll open the lines for you. It is Father's Day, and fathers are men that have put women in the family way, and they have children. So when you don't have a child, you are not a father. You can be a caretaker. Yes, and there are a lot of caretakers. It is not wrong to have the opportunity to be a caretaker like Joseph, because Joseph was just a caretaker in the life of Mary. to make sure that he gives some positional, male-oriented position in the life of Jesus. So Joseph is not the father of Jesus Christ, but the father figure of Jesus Christ. And let me correct this in the minds of all of us. Step brothers and sisters are children that your mother brings into your family and not your father. So none of my children are step. I corrected it in the beginning that you are all my children. When mommy brings a child, that is your stepsister. But this one is not your stepsister. This is not your stepbrother. You are all siblings. And my input in your lives is not for you to come and take care of me. Is that when your sister is in need, provide. Not your father, not your mother. So stop blackmailing me emotionally. When every uncle is calling you and talking to you, be careful you don't become ungrateful to your mother. What your mother have gone through to take care of you when your father left you. I remember your mother sold everything. Like today, if it is not you, your mother is supposed to be in America. But when your father left him, he also decided not to leave you alone, but should make sure that he will try everything to make sure that you become somebody. Hey, 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 hey. And so right now, you don't talk to your father. And the reason why you don't talk to your father is very simple. The reason why you don't talk to your father is because the things your mother told you is what you are living with. It's not a lie. It's not a lie. Whatever your mother told you is the truth. But your mother is wicked to tell you the things he told you. I told you about the young lady whose mother was going to warn her that she should be careful of the way she dressed, so that nobody will find anything wrong in her life. And look at how she said it. Make her won't make her won't would not take up on Tian Tadian Tieti, say na me do baby when we now about him not to me mona. And the man has never been introduced to the girl before. But the day the lady heard the mother saying that this is how I was dressing and your father raped me and I gave birth to you, the girl changed, sat down, call on the mother. Mommy, the last time you were talking, you said something. You said what? So the reason why you don't want to show me your father because you were raped to give birth to me. Am I a child out of rape? Mommy, tell me, what is it? And why didn't you report him? Where is he? Is he behind bars? Now the young lady was asking questions. Now the mother have no choice because he has destroyed the future of the daughter. Must finish the untold story. Must tell the daughter how wicked the father was. And that is how come the father raped her and she decided to keep the raped child and told the child all the stories that when your father raped me and because we were poor and we didn't have anything at all to go to police station, I had to keep you. And what I suffered was to lose my education. That is why I didn't go to school anymore. And your father warned me that when I come closer to him, he was going to kill me because of what we have done. And he denied that he didn't sleep with me. And after they gave birth to the child, they went to tell him to come and name the child. They said they have no child with us. And if I don't stop it, they will do something to me. So I kept you away from them, and that is why I have lived like this. And after you and what your father did to me, I decided to not to give any man a chance again in my life. That is why you are the only daughter I have. I am afraid what happened to me can happen to you. Hey, sister girl, and come on, Bob Frakitway, Osha Nyansa. If you want your daughter to become a prominent woman in future, are you aware what you are telling her is not wholesome for a child? A child would die as a child, never as a wife. So any child